In this video, we uncovered the tragic and mysterious story of the photographer who captured his own crimes. The Flash Before Death. New York City, 2003. Rain painted the streets silver, and the hum of the city mixed with the rhythmic clicking of a camera shutter. Ethan Cole stood at the corner of 9th Avenue, his camera poised, breath steady. The dying light of the evening hit the woman's face perfectly, her fear shimmering in her eyes. "Beautiful," Ethan whispered, right before the flash blinded her one last time. Click. Silence. The photograph would later be titled Fear in Focus. It would win him a Pulitzer. No one knew it was a confession. Before we dive into the fall story, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more real-life crime documentaries, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Chapter 1. The Rising Star. Ethan wasn't just any photographer. He was the photographer. By age 33, his work had graced the covers of Time, National Geographic, and The New Yorker. He was celebrated for capturing emotion in its rawest form: pain, despair, shock, and surrender. Critics said he saw truth where others saw tragedy. What they didn't know was that Ethan wasn't capturing tragedy. He was creating it. He'd grown obsessed with what he called the last look, that split second between life and death where the human soul, as he believed, shows its truest face. Every award-winning shot was, in reality, a murder scene. Chapter 2. The Ghost in the Frame. Detective Laura Kane, NYPD Homicide Division, had been on the job for 16 years. She'd seen everything, or so she thought. When the subway strangler case hit her desk, it looked straightforward at first. 5 victims, all found in abandoned subway tunnels, strangled, each with their eyes wide open and an expression of pure terror. No signs of sexual assault, no robbery, no motive. Just death, beautifully arranged. But then Laura noticed something eerie. Each crime scene photo taken by police looked eerily similar to Ethan Cole's photographs, in lighting, angle, and emotion. When she compared timestamps, it got stranger. Every murder took place days before Ethan's next exhibit opened. Coincidence? She didn't believe in those. Chapter 3. The Perfect Shot. Ethan had rules. He never killed at random. He selected his subjects carefully, people whose pain told a story: an addict, a runaway, a soldier's widow, a broken lover. He called them the forgotten faces of America. He'd invite them under the pretense of a documentary photography project, offering cash for a few hours of their time. His charm disarmed them, clean-cut, articulate, and oddly comforting. He'd photograph them for hours, laughing, crying, tired. And then, when the final photo was ready, he'd whisper, "Let's capture the truth now." That's when he'd strike. And the final frame, the one taken seconds before death, would become his masterpiece. Chapter 4. The Girl in the Red Dress. Samantha Dwyer, 22, was an aspiring actress from Brooklyn. She'd modeled once for Ethan and described him to her friend as quiet but intense, like he sees through you. She disappeared 3 days later. Weeks later, Ethan's new exhibit opened, The Last Light. The featured photograph was of a woman in a red dress, lying in an alley, a single tear glistening down her cheek. It was Samantha. The police didn't notice, but Detective Laura did. She'd seen Samantha's missing persons file. The resemblance was undeniable. When Laura confronted Ethan at a press event, he smiled calmly. "Detective, it's called art. You're reading too much into a coincidence." But Laura saw something behind his eyes, something cold, calculating, and disturbingly calm. Chapter 5. The Darkroom. Ethan's apartment on the Upper West Side looked ordinary. But beneath the floorboards, he had a secret basement, his private darkroom. There, he developed his photos himself, using old-fashioned chemicals. The walls were lined with hundreds of portraits, each subject's face frozen mid-scream, eyes pleading. On the back of each photograph, he'd written a date, location, and a single word: truth. He talked to his photos sometimes. "You were seen," he'd whisper. "You exist because of me." For Ethan, murder wasn't violence, it was preservation. He believed that the instant before death, people revealed their purest selves, stripped of lies, vanity, and ego. He wasn't killing. He was immortalizing. Chapter 6. The Discovery. Detective Kane grew obsessed. She mapped every known murder against Ethan's travel history, photo releases, and exhibitions. The alignment was flawless. She presented her theory to her captain. He called it insane, but Laura wouldn't let go. So she went undercover, posing as a photojournalist interested in shadow work. She booked a session with Ethan himself. When she arrived at his studio, the lights were dim and the walls were covered with portraits. Ethan studied her like a specimen. "Detective Laura Kane," he said softly. "You shouldn't have come here." Her blood ran cold. "How do you smile?" he interrupted, raising the camera. Click. The flash went off. Chapter 7. The Trap. Ethan didn't kill her that night. Instead, he let her go. Days later, Laura received a package at her office. Inside, a photograph of herself, taken that night. Her eyes wide, face half lit, fear raw and unfiltered. On the back, "Now you understand what truth looks like." The message was clear. He was playing with her. Chapter 8. The Pursuit. Laura's team traced Ethan's darkroom equipment through online purchases. When they raided his studio, it was empty, but what they found was horrifying. A wall-sized collage of every victim's photo, meticulously arranged into the shape of a human face. And in the center, Laura's portrait. A hidden file on his computer titled "The Final Collection" contained a folder labeled "The Detective." Inside, staged photographs of her funeral. Chapter 9. The Final Frame. Weeks passed with no sign of Ethan. Then a series of murders began across different states: Chicago, Boston, Seattle. Each crime scene left with a printed photo pinned to the wall. Each image signed, EC. The FBI joined in. The media dubbed him the Shutter Killer. Every photo became darker, more symbolic, victims bound in poses that reflected Ethan's earlier works. It was as if he was recreating his portfolio using real corpses. Then in 2011, one final photograph surfaced online, a shot of Laura Kane standing on a pier looking over the Hudson River. Except she hadn't been there. The photo was a perfect composite, but it bore the same realism as his earlier crimes. Below it, a caption: "The Last Truth. The End of Fear." Epilogue: The Last Truth. 20 years after Ethan Cole's first confirmed kill, the world had almost forgotten him. The headlines faded. The fear dissolved into urban legend. New killers emerged, new scandals erupted, and Ethan's name slipped quietly into the archives of unsolved horrors. But evil has a way of resurfacing. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos.